How you doing, everyone? It's Kevin. I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be working on our little key holder boards. And I made these look like a little mini charcuterie board. And then we're going to put our key hooks that we built in the last video out of the masonry nails. We're going to be mounting them to here. And then we're going to be doing a couple more little things to this. And I think you guys are going to enjoy this video. This is going to be a fun one. I couldn't wait for this video. I needed the coat rack first. I still need one more coat rack, but I wanted to do these charcuterie board key holders. I thought they would be cool. I know when my buddy Daryl come in from Utah and he was hanging out here and he got some of that wood for the charcuterie boards, and well, I couldn't even pronounce the word charcuterie, but I got it down. I'm doing a little practicing. So we're going to be building these boards, these little mini charcuterie boards for our key holders. So let's see how this project turns out. So this is the wood we're going to be using for the charcuterie boards. I just went to the sawmill and picked these two boards up. These boards have been cut for at least 2 years. They're good and dry. All three of these are good and dry. We're hoping that we can make something beautiful out of this garbage wood. This was probably going to go to the burn pile, I'm sure. I didn't have any plans for it when we first cut them, but now it's like, hey, you know what? This wood is still solid in spots. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean them up. We're going to get them all cleaned up and get them cut. And if everything goes well, the wood in the center is good and strong. The edges are not quite as strong. We'll take the best pieces out of them and we'll build us some of them boards out of them. We're going to go ahead and get a straight edge cut on each one of these boards, and then we're going to get them on the table saw and get them cut into widths. So what we're going to do is once we get all these cut, I'll just take these into the table saw and we'll just strip them off the width of our charcuterie board. Okay, we got our table saw set up for 5 3/4 of an inch. That's what we need these boards stripped at, 5 3/4. We'll go ahead and get these stripped down and then over to the planer. planed down to approximately 1/2 inch thick. And that left us with some pretty good wood. And what I've done here, I cut these boards the width of what I need my little charcuterie board. And I would cut that one. Then I would turn it around, link it down in there, mark that one out, and turn it around, mark that one out, and that one out. So we'll get 4 of those little charcuterie board key holders out of that one. And we're gonna go ahead and get the rest of these all marked out. Some of these may have little cracks in them, imperfections, but I think that's what's gonna give it the character that we need. So we're just tracing them out. This pattern, we could use it forever now. I like to make these little patterns, and this is just Luan board. I started off with a piece of paper. I'll show you. This is what I started out with. And then I traced this on a piece of the old Luan that we had taken out of the camper build. When we built the camper, we kept all the scrap Luan. And I use these for templates. So I can throw this thing away and keep this, and it'll hold up pretty well. I'm not sure exactly how many we'll get out of each one of these boards, but it'd be nice to get 4 out of each one, but I'm not so sure we're going to get 4. Because some of the ends were a little boogered up, but that's okay. Like I said, it's going to give it a little bit of character. Alright, now that we have all of our little boards marked out, we're going to go ahead and cut them in half. There's 6 sets of 2 here. So we're just going to cut them, because there's where 2 of them charcuterie boards meet. We're just going to cut these in half. Now, if you have a jigsaw, this is something you could cut out with a jigsaw if you wanted. So there's all of our boards. Now we're going to take them over and we're going to drill some holes in them. We're going to drill there's a hole that goes in here, a 5/8 hole in the top of each one. We're going to drill them while they're in a solid board. I had one that I drilled and I'd already cut it and it split it. So we're not going to do that. We're going to leave them like this and get them drilled right now. What we're going to do is just line that up in the center of where we want our hole drilled there. And we're going to go ahead and drill these guys out. Get them as close as we can. They'll be fine. All we got to do is pop our little plug out, and these look pretty good. So this is how we're going to do each and every one of them before we get them cut. That way the hole, when we drill it, it doesn't split that handle. Okay, I'm cutting these out with the scroll saw. They won't fit in my bandsaw. The throat is not deep enough, so we're just going to have to use this little scroll saw to get them cut out. I left a little bit of the line so we can take it to the sander now and clean it the rest of the way up. Alright, this is the old orbital sander that we built, and it's still working great. Now we'll take them into the 2x72 inch sander and finish them up. Okay, so both of our pieces are sanded and these are good to go. So we only got like 10 more to go. So I'm sure you don't want to watch all that. I'll go ahead and get the other ones cut out and sanded up. And then we'll get back to our project. Okay, we have all of our charcuterie boards cut out. And we sanded all the rough edges off of them. They're good enough now. What we might do now is take some sandpaper over the tops of these and smooth them up a little bit because we have some more work to do to these. Okay, instead of sanding these down right now, I have decided to take the router over the edge of this, pick the nicest side out, whatever side I want out, and run that over the router and only do one side. As you can see, this one here, man, did it turn out beautiful or what? We rounded the edge. So I have the planer set up over there. We're going to go ahead and start rounding all the edges to the face, just the face. Alright, now all my pieces have been rounded with the router. I didn't round the back side, I just rounded this side here. What I'm going to do is set them up here on the planer table, and I'm going to run the sander over them real good. And I got my vacuum on, so it's going to suck all that dust into there. It's going to be nice. So we're just going to take one at a time, and we're going to sand down the face. Now once all of our faces are sanded down real good, I'll take some hand sandpaper and we'll do the edges by hand. I think that will do a little better job getting them looking smooth. So we're going to continue just sanding these all down, and then we'll get it hand sanding and finish them up. Alright, we got all the faces sanded down good. So I'm just going to take a piece of sandpaper and I'm going to sand all these edges real nice and smooth. And the nice thing is I get to do it right here beside the heater and keep warm while I'm doing it. Alright, we're done sanding all of them. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our brand. I got them all flipped over to the back side. We're going to brand each one of them. So we have our maker's mark right on there. Alright, we have our maker mark on each one of them. They're stamped right in there, which is pretty cool. That lets you know that I did build this. There's only one brand like this, and it's the one I made myself. This is a homemade brand that I made right here in the shop. The hooks, I have almost all the hooks done. I think it was something like 36 hooks I had to build. So these key holders are ready to be stenciled. The only issue that I have is I don't have the stencil yet. I'm going to show you. I'm trying to make templates of everything so I can keep making these. If somebody wants one, I can, you know, we want to try to make some money off of these guys to buy our sawmill blades. We thought if we could sell some crafts and make that sawmill pay for its own blades and oil changes and bearings and belts, whatever we got to get for that sawmill, we want it to pay for itself by using the wood off of it. So there's still a few more things to do to it. This is one of the stencils. This is a stencil that says Home Sweet Home that was to go on the front of each one of these. I started cutting this one out, but very hard to cut this stenciling. It's like a hard plastic. It's very hard to cut. So I found a lady with a Cricut, and she's making me one of these stencils. I may still even cut this one out, but it is a lot of work. So we're going to end this video here, and hopefully the next time we get to working on these, we'll have the stencil. They'll be stenciled on the front, and then we have to put hooks on them yet, and we need to put our clear on them. So if you'd like to see the next part, we start doing the stenciling and putting it all together, and that's the best part. The next part is the best, because that's when you get to see everything you did come together in one little piece, which is really cool. So I would like to tell everyone thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment if you'd like. Until next time.